Just Baseball Show is live wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whether you watch on YouTube, or you're with us on Sports Grid. Jack McMullen, Peter Apple, we're walking you through the best moments of the 2025 MLB postseason. There were so many moments, spoiler alert, a lot of them had to do with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, but that kind of makes sense when you look at the course of an MLB postseason. There were some moments for the Brewers. There were some moments for the Mariners and the Tigers, but really this is a Dodger and Blue Jay centered episode with a look on the October that was. I'm really excited for this one, man.
I am too, and I don't think we're doing the episode itself a service by saying that it's Blue Jays and Dodgers focused, because I have best moments of the LCS, of the DS, of the wild card, and I tried not to focus on the Blue Jays and Dodgers. So the front half of this episode is definitely going to be focused on those two teams, but we're also going to be highlighting players from all the teams who made the postseason outside of really kind of the Reds, who unfortunately didn't have a lot of good postseason moments, getting destroyed in the wild card series, but everybody else is represented in this episode.
Who we brought to you by?
BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Remember, folks, download BetMGM, whether that be on iOS or Android, and use promo code JUSTBASEBALL. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. Just remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.
We're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get started with the best moments and the best performances of the Dodger postseason, and that culminated in them winning back-to-back World Series championships. It's their third in 6 years. They won in 20 in the COVID-shortened year. They won in 24, and here they are winning in 25. And the parade happened on Monday in LA at Dodger Stadium. It makes a lot of sense that the parade would culminate at Dodger Stadium. It's like your opportunity to sell more concessions and parking, which is just perfect. Although when you have an event like, I remember the Cubs in 2016, they had it in Millennium Park in Chicago, and you had to do that because it was like a top 10 gathering of people in the history of humanity. So I understand why you pivot from Wrigley, but for a team like the Dodgers, it makes a lot of sense. But you have the best performers and performances. I have the biggest moments. We'll start with, I don't know, like this is almost like a Jackson Pollock painting. We can go wherever we want here, but you start with your first best performer, and I'll tell you if I have a moment that fits that performer's kind of October in general.
Well, I assume you will, because this man, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, won the World Series MVP, but he was just fantastic for the entire postseason. 37 innings, 6 earned runs. That's a 1.45 ERA. He went 5-1, led the postseason in wins. He had 2 complete games. First pitcher since Randy Johnson to start Game 6 and then come in relief Game 7. I'll let you talk about that because I assume that's one of your big moments. He became the 5th pitcher in MLB history with an ERA below 2.20 and a WHIP, walks, hits per innings pitched, in a single postseason, joining Randy Johnson, Curt Schilling, Josh Beckett, and Madison Bumgarner. He is worth every penny of that $325 million contract.
And we learned that he is ready to rise to any occasion. And we knew that he could do that in the World Baseball Classic in 2023, but we have learned that stateside in 24 and 25. This guy is amazing. I had Game 7 written down. His sheer appearance in Game 7 was a humongous moment in the Dodger postseason story. You mentioned first guy since Randy Johnson to start Game 6 and appear in Game 7. The other one I had, first guy since Curt Schilling in the early 2000s to throw back-to-back complete games. That happened in the CS and in the World Series. Yoshinobu Yamamoto met the moment. And it's funny, the Dodgers put out a pregame kind of hype up video ahead of his CS start against the Brewers. And it was Yamamoto voicing it over. And he said, I learned a lot from my, DS start against the Phillies. Losing is not an option, was his quote. And he proceeds to go back-to-back complete game wins. And I just thought that was, in hindsight, the coldest thing he could have possibly said in that moment, because he's like 5'10" and he wears a baggy long sleeve undershirt. He doesn't look intimidating, and then all of a sudden he kills you. And I love that about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So understandably so, that guy has a huge moment and he's a huge performer. I'm going to take you to a moment and you're going to tell me how that guy performed over the course of this, because I bet you have this guy as well. When we learned that Roki Sasaki could throw a high leverage inning, that was everything for the Dodgers. And we learned that sort of kind of in the wild card series against the Reds, but we really learned that in the DS against the Philadelphia Phillies, where this guy recorded a save. And when Roki Sasaki recorded his first save in the month of October, I thought that was the thing that clicked the Dodgers into high gear.
The Dodgers had a lot of great performers, and I actually didn't write Roki Sasaki's name down, but I can give you the numbers. In 10 2/3, recorded 3 saves, put up a 0.84 ERA. And we have to remember Roki's story a little bit. Comes over, one of the most hyped prospects to ever come stateside, and struggles. And there was a very viral moment of him in tears on the outskirts of the dugout. And he got clowned. And then he went down to the minor leagues. And a lot of people, including us, said, it's probably it for him this season. We'll get back in the offseason and he'll come out firing. We didn't doubt him long term. We doubted him this year. How could you not? Look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And then what does he do? Comes back as a reliever and is a godsend for this Dodgers team, whose Achilles heel was their bullpen. And he came and he performed and he quieted all the doubters, including us. Let's get to my next postseason performer. This one's rather easy. Pretty easy. Shohei Ohtani. In the postseason, /265, 405, 691 with 8 home runs and 14 RBIs in 17 games, tying the record for most home runs in a postseason. He became the 4th player ever with multiple 50-plus home run seasons and 2+ World Series rings, joining the greats, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, and Jimmy Fox. And I assume, I don't want to steal your moment here, should we talk about the greatest game ever played? Except maybe Rick Wise back in the 70s. 2 home runs and threw a no-hitter. It wasn't the regular season. It was against a Reds team that finished below 500 that year. All I'm saying is he's got company on greatest game ever. But you're going to go over the numbers. I totally understand if people want to call it the greatest game ever played.
Greatest postseason game ever played. We give that to Shohei Ohtani, who went 6 scoreless innings with 10 Ks and hit 3 home runs in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series against the Milwaukee Brewers to send the Dodgers to the World Series, complete the sweep. That was a flawless performance from Shohei Ohtani. He walked 3. That's unacceptable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But 10 Ks and 6 scoreless and 3 homers. We thought that was something you could only write in comic books, and he happened to bring a comic book to life in that game.
100%. I want to talk about the forgotten star of the Dodgers postseason run, Tyler Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow pitched to a 1.69 ERA over 21 1/3. He was used both as a starter and in relief. He started 3 games. Dodgers won all 3. He threw 1 2/3 of clutch scoreless relief against the Phillies in the division series. He recorded a save in Game 6 with no outs and runners on second and third base, gets a weak pop out on the first pitch, and then, of course, that double play to Kike Hernandez firing in the throw to Miguel Rojas, who made a great pick. And then he threw 2 1/3. He did give up 1 run in Game 7, but again, in relief after coming in from the bullpen in Game 6. Every single game he pitched in, the Dodgers won. And I think that's huge.
That is absolutely humongous. And you really didn't think it when you watched Tyler Glasnow throw this year. You were really thinking, oh, it's Snell. Oh, it's Yamamoto. Oh, it's Ohtani. Glasnow did feel like the clear-cut 4 in that rotation this go-around. But he threw very well each time he got the ball, maybe with the exception of Game 7 or Game 6, but it's okay.
No, Game 7. In Game 6, he shut the door. Game 7, he did give up 1 earned. But again, that was his 3rd appearance of the postseason so far. Remember, he already had a big-time start. And then he also, got the save. And then this, great performance by Glasnow.
Amazing performance by Tyler Glasnow. He was aided by shadows in his first couple of starts, but you know what? Shadows don't discriminate on the stat page. So Tyler Glasnow, a heck of a go for the Dodgers in their World Series run. I have a couple more moments. I'm sure you have a couple more performers for the Dodgers, so we're going to bleed that over into the next segment. We'll also talk about the Toronto Blue Jays and the biggest moments, best performers from their postseason run. That's all coming up on the Just Baseball Show.